were not only tasked with adapting the text from English into their target languages and cultures, but also making assumptions about Rowling's intentions and translating the spirit of her approach. Their task was particularly challenging because the Harry Potter series is filled with invented words, alliteration, wordplay, and British cultural references. The main characters' first names, Harry, Hermione, and Ron, mostly stay the same across languages, with small changes to accommodate different alphabets and phonetics. That's easy enough for conventional names like Harry Potter, but many of the other proper names in the books carry loaded meanings that would be lost if it's not translated. Take Severus Snape. The name invokes severity and sounds like snake. So the Italian translator made the jump and named him Severus Piton, which is basically Python. In French, he's Severus Woke, which means Severus Arrogance. As you can tell, both solutions sacrifice Rowling's alliteration. The name Hogwarts combines two English words, but because the name stayed the same in most languages, those connotations were lost for those readers. In an attempt to preserve Rowling's approach to the school's name, the French translator used Poula. Poudula means slice of bacon or fat. The Hungarian version went with Roxford, a mix of the British University Oxford and Roquefort, a well-known blue cheese. The house names and founders also experienced unique changes in some of the target languages. In Catalan, the names became Nicanor Gryffindor, Serpentin Slytherin, Maripau Ravenclaw, and Hortensia Hufflepuff. There is a ton of wordplay that happens in the Harry Potter books as well. The famous Diagon Alley, a play on the word diagonally, and the infamous Nocturne Alley from nocturnally. This type of pun is a real puzzle for translators, and most dropped it in favor of literal translations. The Spanish translator was able to at least rhyme with Callejon Diagon. And translators had several approaches to Quidditch, an invented game made from the invented words quaffle, bludger, and snitch, the three types of balls used in the game. In Spanish, the words were not changed. The French translator kept the word Quidditch, but changed the names of the balls, and others changed the game's name altogether. In Dutch, Quidditch is Zirfbal. In Norwegian, it's Rumpeldunk. Owls and Newt's standardized tests in the wizarding world weren't always able to retain their animal acronyms, but in Swedish, their implied meanings remained while the wording was changed. Owls became Grund, Examen i Trollkonst, or Yet, meaning goat in Swedish. And Newt's were changed to Fruktensvet ut mutunda Trollkostes, or foot, derived from futig, meaning measly or mean. The infamous anagram of Tom Marvolo Riddle's name was altered by many translators to achieve the same revelation of I am Lord Voldemort. In Danish, Tom is named Romeo Gay de Lunia, and in French, he's Tom Elvis Judesseur, which was extra clever because Judesseur means fate riddle. Culturally, the Harry Potter series is unmistakably British, but translating that for a global group of readers wasn't easy. Some food items were changed to make them seem less foreign to the target country. Sherbet lemons, a popular candy item in Britain, became Crimbo, a chocolate-covered sweet from Israel. Crisps became chips in the US, and in the Arabic version, bacon became eggs. Sometimes a foreign setting undergoes translation too. For the Ukrainian translation, the atmosphere of an English boarding school was swapped out for an orphanage. In the books and films, Hagrid has a provincial West Country accent.
No? Blimey, Harry, didn't you ever wonder where your mum and dad learned it all? You're a wizard, Harry.
For the Japanese translations, it was replicated by using Tohoku dialect, which is a pastoral accent from northeastern Japan. Other translators chose to have Hagrid simply speak more informally, while others dropped his accent entirely. Despite translators' best efforts to remain true to the text, some things were still lost in translation. In the mainland Chinese editions of Harry Potter, there were footnotes to explain puns and cultural references. The Spanish translator sometimes used italics to signal an invented word with no translation. But in the end, it doesn't matter if you're reading Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone or the many translations of it. One thing that always seems to translate is the love fans around the world share for tales of the boy who lived.
great. That's great. What did you understand? Let's start with Jesse. Let's begin with you. What part did you understand on the video?
Mm, I understand I think the main idea that
Mhm.
is the change of the words and the words name about the things of Harry Potter.
Right.
Since the names, I don't know, the play like Quidditch. and
Game.
sorry, the game like Quidditch, and just the name, the game. I am not sure. Yes, that's the main idea, and so I like the how they write or how do you say? Oh, say sorry, say the like Jessie, Jessie and Voldemort,
Voldemort.
and in French, I like
They changed the name in order to make the anagram.
another language, right?
So that is precisely the word anagram is the word that I was looking for the other day. I think you were not, or yeah, I think on Friday we talked about it, and yeah, an anagram is a word that shares the same number of characters and the same characters as other words, but in a different order. So technically, the name of the enemy is an anagram for I am Voldemort in all the languages. So that's a thing.
Can you repeat the meaning of anagram?
Sure. It's anagram, and actually we have it here in the dictionary. So this is a walk.
Yes.
Anagram.
Okay.
A word or phrase that is made by arranging the letters of another word or phrase in different order. So you have the name Elvis can be
Okay.
rearranged to lives,
Okay.
right? Because it's the same number of characters and the
Yes.
same number of or the same amount of number of letters.
Okay.
So that's precisely the thing. And if you watch the movie, you see the name flying over there, and it rearranges to I am Voldemort. Which I don't remember the name. In English, it's Tom Marvolo Riddle, but in Spanish, I don't remember the name in Spanish. No, I don't remember. It was
Horrible.
in Spanish. Aha, Sorvolo. Yes. It was in Spanish. It's Sorvolo with a Y. Riddle with a Y instead of an I.
Mm,
So, the word Sorvolo transforms to soy, and the Y is here. You see?
yes.
That's pretty interesting. So in the movies, is completely different. They maintain the name,
Yes.
they keep the name, but in the books, you will read a different name. So cool, no? So interesting.
Yes.
And actually, this word, guys, is not in the vocabulary, and I want to add it. There is a game of words happening here. Severus Snape, the second name, it comes from the word snake, no? Which is the pet of one of the houses of Hogwarts. right? The same thing happens here. The word riddle is actually something that happens in English. It exists, right? Are you familiar with this word, guys?
Mm,
Probably not, right? It's C1 vocabulary, so I think this is new. I'm going to add it to the dictionary. Help me with the definition, Isaac.
Yes, real. A question that is difficult to understand and that has a surprising answer that you ask somebody as a game. Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, I get it. But, yes. Yeah. I think that the second part is it was Frodo who solved the riddle.
In English, what? Can you repeat that?
In the second phrase, Bilbo solved the riddle that unlocks the door to the mountain. I think that it was Frodo and not Bilbo.
Ah, yeah. Unless there's the mountain. But people did it too, no?
Yes, when they get to when they get to the mountain with the dragon, no?
Yeah, before Frodo was born.
Yes.
He was in the Hobbit. But yeah, that's one. And the riddle is precisely this game that somebody tells you, and you need to guess what they say. No, that's the reason the second name of of um, of the guy in the book is actually riddle because it's actually a game of words, right? So yeah, it was a massive issue. The people who translated these books had a massive headache trying to to keep the original intentions of the author. It was a crazy thing. That's a thing, that's for sure. What about, for example, Silvana? Did you understand something different this time?
Something different? No.
Or something else from the video?
Eh, mm, no, basically that it is, well, I was surprised
Okay.
because I haven't think about it, about what
What?
all the work behind
Haven't
the
thought about it, not think. Think is present.
I haven't thought about it. All the work, all the work behind the translation of a book.
Crazy, right?
The like the I don't know. I didn't catch the name of these sentences behind. No, in the like foot of the page.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, these are called footers, precisely.
How
Footers.
how's it called?
Footers. It's in the vocabulary, I think.
Oh,
I guess it should be there. Because of the word hog. Footer.
assumption, approach, uh, Python.
Like that.
Okay, footer.
Ah, food.
Well, I haven't thought about the work behind that, and that most of the times the footer it's to explain maybe a word that
Yes.
doesn't well, that maybe don't have sense in your language.
Doesn't.
doesn't have change in your language because it is it well, I'm sorry, teacher. My brain
Just say it.
doesn't work.
Your brain works, yes, it does. If it
No.
doesn't work, you would be dead. Come on.
No, because well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a
I
vegetable.
yeah,
Like
like
a
a vegetable.
vegetable. Exactly. So you complete the sentence. You didn't. Yeah, the footer is for that. Those things that have no translation doesn't make sense in our language, or when it's a cultural reference. Sometimes it is not about the translation. It's more about a joke. Why something is funny in another culture.
Language.
No, not even the language, culture. I mean, how would you explain? How would you explain an expression in English or to an American person? If you say, for example, yeah, the meaning of ahorita, you know, how would you translate the word ahorita? It's not
In a
only the
moment.
meaning; it's also what people understand with the word ahorita
And the context and everything.
and the context and everything. So that would need a footer if you translate Mexican culture book into English. You know, so it's a these kind of books have a lot of references across when they travel to other societies. Do you watch anime?
No,
You haven't tried?
no.
No, we
Well,
are not.
only Dead Note.
We did know. Have you ever seen it with footers, with like in Japanese with English subtitles or with Spanish subtitles?
No.
Usually, this type of content that comes from very far lands come with footers, the subtitles. If you watch it in the original language with the subtitles on, you will see double subtitles. On top, what the person is saying, and on the bottom, some numbers. And you need to pause and to stop the movie in order to read what's going on the footers. Uh-huh. Because
So when I don't know, now you know that almost every video has to have subtitles.
Described.
And it yeah, and there is other kind of subtitle. No, well, there are no subtitles, like descriptions that what is happening, like noises,
right, yes.
like noise of a close of a door
Oh, and the
closing.
closed captions, of course, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
those are named footers too,
They
also
are not. No, they are captions. These
caption.
are used for they're captions. It's different. Caption words that are printed below a picture that explains it or describes it. And precisely when you open a book, you have captions. But when you're watching a movie, you have closed captions.
Okay.
And this is especially for people with a listening impairment. An impairment is a disability.
Listening impairment.
Listening impairment.
Okay.
An injury, illness, or condition that means that part of your body or brain does not work. Visual impairments, listening impairments, and etc. The closed caption is just for listen impairments, which is very different from footers. Footers are like extra information about what's going on in the screen.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Very, very interesting stuff. Of course, when you watch a movie, we are not going to have all that information, no? But when you read a book, you usually have
If
this.
you are watching the second part of for the second time, Harry Potter
With the comments.
with the comments.
With the comments, exactly. Yes, all of that. Probably they're considered footers. Yeah, because captions are not. They will be footers or dialogue bubbles that is for that, to get curious information about some stuff. Look at this. It says, "Well, Ted," said the weatherman, "I don't know about that, but it's not only the owls that have been acting up today. Do you know what are owls? It's the animal.
An
The
animal? Yes.
Exactly.
That flies, no?
Flies and delivers cards in the Harry Potter
And
world.
leathers, no?
Exactly, letters, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have viewers as far apart as Kent, Yorkshire, and Dundee, and then you have a number one. Have been phoning in to tell me that instead of the rain. And then you have number one in here, says Kent and Yorkshire are in the south of England. Dundee is in the northern part of England, which means all England have been phoning in.
What's phone in?
Phone, cell phone,
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
The telephone. So this expression, Kent, Yorkshire, and Dundee, is like saying all Mexico from Baja California to Cancun is calling me.
Okay.
All the territory of Mexico is calling me. And it's very important to have this information because if you don't know where is Kent and Yorkshire, or you don't know where is Baja California and Cancun, you don't know what the person is trying to say.
Yeah, sure. Yes. You will not understand the reference.
Exactly. So especially in Japan, in China, it's like, dude, all that information, we don't know,
Yes.
So yeah, that's an example of a footer. Very good. So this is the video that we are going to analyze this week. Okay, what I want you to do is that we are going to do precisely the same thing we did last time, but now we are going to do it with different phrases. Because we have been checking, or last time we spoke about it. Oops. We saw different phrases. We saw what a preposition phrase is and what an adverb phrase is. The preposition phrase is all this information that we get after a preposition. Technically, if you analyze the last example we did, we have 4. No? The preposition for time periods. Technically, when you are listening to an American person speak, let's take this as an example. We should consider this section as a prepositional phrase. I mean, all of this, including the connector for and the noun phrase that you have on the bottom. right? So technically, this should not be separated. These two should be together. You see what I mean? When you hear a preposition, you should pay attention to the rest of the information and group it together. Right? And by the way, the word around is a preposition of place, but we should consider it as information of place. Do you know what family I'm talking about?
An adjective? No.
Place. You're close.
Mm,
Adverb.
adverb?
Adverb.
Verb? Noun?
Nah, you're catching flies. You need to tell me which one.
An adverb.
And how do you know it's an adverb?
Because it sounds similar to adjective.
That's a big issue. Yep,
No.
you're lost.
And you said that I was close, so
Yeah, well, I ruined the whole process for you. The word around is an adverb of place.
Mhm.
As we said before, adverbs give information for very specific questions. Remember? Adverbs give information about the how, the when, the where, and the why. Or and or, you know? And or. Which is the question that this word is answering?
Where?
The where. Precisely. So this information over here is telling us the where. Where these letters have been. So this is technically the analysis that we did the other day was an easy analysis to make you aware of the divisions. But now I want to make better divisions and more detailed divisions in order to make you group information in a better way. So now you have the connector because, then the subject, these letters, the verb have been where, have been around, and then complement prepositional phrase. 4 centuries worth of changes and technology. Now you don't see the noun in the complement as an independent noun. It's actually connected to the word for. That's the way English works. Okay. So what I want you to do in this moment is to start analyzing the video by grouping information the way we should do it. Let's start. We're gonna begin. Remember this information, okay? This is going to be useful. For the listening of the video. Let's start with forget about all this information and all of that. Transcription. Number 1, let's begin with Jesse.
In 1997, J.K. Rowling published Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Action, yes.
In 1997, ay, ya lo- in 1997, sorry, I don't take notes.
You what? Can you repeat?
I don't write nothing.
You don't every day, or are you talking in past or in present?
I didn't write.
You didn't write anything. Okay,
Yes.
let's listen again.
I just listening.
Sure, but remember, if you write, sometimes it's more distracting. Okay, so you should use only your ears.
So I have the idea. I remember all, but when you ask me, I forget.
That happens. You get nervous. Don't worry. Don't worry. What you have to do is obey your ears. That's the thing you need to do.
Yes.
Okay, second chance.
In 1997, J.K. Rowling published Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Action.
I didn't listen well the name, but it's in 1997. The author,
Author.
the author published Harry Potter.
Okay.
That's all.
Pronunciation. She never said published. This is English.
Published.
Okay.
Published.
As you can see, an American person will never say published. Come on.
Published Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
And that's all. It's incomplete.
Yes, it's incomplete.
Mm-hmm. Let's listen again. Okay, a trick. If you don't know the person, well, you know that she said a name here.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch the name, you can use pronouns, indefinite pronouns, to replace the information. Do you know what I'm talking about here?
Pronouns like she.
Yeah, but okay, that's gonna be tomorrow's class. Don't worry. We're gonna check how to replace pronouns, how to replace names. But okay, let's listen again. Final chance.
In 1997, J.K. Rowling published Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Action.
I have the name J.K. Rowling.
Good. J what?
J.K.
Okay.
Rowling.
Right.
Yes. And it's all. I didn't listen the last part.
You didn't catch the next part? What? Which book of Harry Potter are we talking about?
I think the first.
The first one. That's right. And you can complete this sentence with two ways. Because number one, you know the title of the book. I mean, it's a very famous book, and if you don't know it, number two, you have a
it's
reference.
in the video now.
Exactly, you have a visual reference right in front of you.
and,
Right.
and the philosopher Philosopher's stone.
Excellent. Complete.
The phrase.
Mhm.
In 1997, J.K. Rowling published Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Excellent. And the Philosopher's Stone with capital S, because we are talking about the name of the book. If you analyze this sentence and do the phrase section, the first sentence in 1997 is actually a prepositional phrase.
Yes.
Why? Because you start with a preposition. As you see, prepositional phrases can start the sentence if you separate it by commas. Take a note on these, guys. A prepositional phrase can start the sentence if you separate it by comma.
Okay.
Okay. Next in the list, we have what kind of information do we have later, guys?
Mm,
The subject,
The subject, which is a color?
blue.
blue.
Color blue. That's correct. J.K. Rowling. After the subject, as all the constructions in English, we have a
Verb.
correct, which is
Published.
published. What type of verb is published? Here is when you need to understand why is it's important the type of verbs, so you can understand what is the next information. There are, according to the rules, there are verbs of action, like go, run, play, study. Verbs of states of being, like be, get, become, smell, etc. They are called linking verbs. Or, actually, I need to add this information, or probably we have it in the other slide. Action verbs, linking verbs, over here. Transitive verbs or intransitive verbs. A transitive verb needs a second person. An intransitive verb doesn't need a second person. With this information, what type of verb do we have here?
I think it's transitive.
How do you know that? You are correct.
Because you need other, but not other person. I think other noun.
Excellent. Well, very well said. Very, very well said. The name Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is a noun that you can put it the way you want, as a person or as a noun. But at the end, it's necessary, a noun is necessary after the verb published. You see? In case you don't remember what happens after the verb, knowing what type of verb you're using can help you understand what is the next information that you need. You see? Do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
What about the rest? No?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I understand.
Super sure.
Yes, I was thinking that publish could be, well, I was thinking that it was like what kind of verb did you mention? Did you mention like an action verb?
There are two types, action and linking.
No, but linking, no, because I think that, yes, it is action verb, but like in a subcategory of transitive.
Aha,
Okay, I get it.
right. These two
Okay.
are like this. A linking verb is a verb that is used to describe. So we need an adjective. But an action, it's the verb in a normal verb, person verb complement. The complement depends on the verb.
Okay.
Precisely. And in this case, we are checking precisely that the time is not necessarily similar to the complement. The time and the place.
Okay. Could you repeat that part?
Sure. The time and place of a sentence is not necessarily part of the complement.
Okay, yes.
At first, too.
Okay. Yes, I get it. Because we are starting with the time, no?
You started with the time. So
Yes, okay.
it's the same, and this is something I like about prepositional phrases. You can actually put it on the other side. You can do this. J.K. Rowling published Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1993. They can move.
Yes. And the sentence has the same meaning.
And this is the most natural position of a prepositional phrase.
Yes,
Huh? That's the
definitely.
reason that when you put it at first, you need a comma.
Mm-hmm.
That's precisely the reason why we use commas in this case. Do you get it, people? Do you understand why we are analyzing like this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. That's a construction of a sentence. So study your vocabulary for tomorrow because we're gonna continue with this analysis.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna check all the different types of phrases, and then after some practice, you are going to tell me the analysis. I'm gonna help you in this moment, but in the next month, you are going to help me with the analysis. So let's keep on practicing this. Okay.
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 Good job. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, teacher. See you.
See you, teacher.
Bye-bye, guys. See you later.
Bye, teacher.
I don't hate you, Jihime. You are.
Sorry, I was on the traffic.
Yes, I imagine. I imagine. Don't worry. It's raining. Okay.
Yes, teacher. Today I have my, I don't know how to say that. My investigation exam of this semester
Wow. How was it?
was hard.
Uh-huh.
I need to know. I need to know how to do emphasize in the importance of my study.
Okay.
I know,
It's gonna be,
but
yeah, it's gonna be tricky.
I know no estuvo, bueno, ¿qué te digo? Estuvo bien perro